sweating more out here than I was on the wall.
And with that being said, we start the episode. Welcome to the podcast. We are poolside in Jacksonville, Florida. The team have hit 700 miles this week, and you have also achieved the incredible, which is walking from the Pacific to the Atlantic Ocean, west to east coast. You've done it, and I am incredibly proud of all of you, and I hope all of you are incredibly proud of yourselves and each other as well, because that is a massive achievement. How do you feel?
Amazing, totally amazing, and to do it with people that I regard as my family makes it even more special.
That's right, bro.
You know, it's something I thought I would never do, but when we were in I forgot the name of the town, there's been that many, but the last one we were in
Chattanooga.
Yes. Knowing that
Atlanta.
I was coming
Atlanta.
Knowing that I was coming to Florida,
Excuse me.
and we would be hitting the other coast, knowing that we'd be hitting the other coast, I've been thinking about it since. I was like, it's an achievement and a half.
It is an incredible achievement. What's been your favourite bit about this week? We started, oh my word, did we start in Atlanta? No, we were back from Chicago
To Nashville to
Chattanooga, Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Don't forget Franklin and the police escort.
Yes.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was pretty awesome. Motorcycle escort.
What happened in Franklin?
Franklin, Tennessee, where we went with the
mayor?
It was the local Rotary
the
Club.
mayor.
Oh yes.
We had two outriders. Is that right? Is that how the Americans call them?
Two
Are
what?
they
Motorcycle.
Outriders.
Outriders. Motorcycle escort.
Yeah. They're just bikes.
Bike cops.
Two bike cops escorting with down the roads.
One which
to
was
the
on
event.
SWAT. Did you see that? See his SWAT patch?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
It was
right.
absolutely amazing. Just things like that, you know, just little things like that.
New Saline to Springfield?
Right. Springfield to
Springfield
Chicago.
was Springfield was
So
last
we
week.
walked from
Springfield,
New Saline that day, 20 miles, the trail.
Down to Abraham Lincoln.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the opportunity to walk along this veteran from Vietnam, a Marine, Pete.
Pete,
And
Semper Fi,
yeah,
brother.
There you go.
Semper Fi.
Aye.
Very humbling being next to him and, share stories back and forward. It was really nice.
Andy,
And Chris.
he rocked the hill
Chris.
as well on his stick, and Chris that was with him as well.
Right.
He had
Cerebral palsy.
cerebral palsy. Yeah, he done absolutely amazing. Done the full thing, didn't he? Full 15, 20 mile.
Yeah.
Around that.
What a great family.
What a
They
guy,
set
yeah.
that up. The
Scout leaders or
Lincoln's
something,
tomb.
wasn't he?
We met them in Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call. We did.
Yeah.
How'd that happen? When
I
did
think-
it was-
Shaz doing laundry?
Yeah,
or
Sharon
something?
doing laundry.
Sharon met her and then invited them over to come and meet you guys, meet the team, the scouts. So all the scouts came over, and then I had a phone call a couple of nights before we were due to be in Springfield from, I want to say Ruth. Her name is Ruth.
Yes.
I think so. Yes.
And she said, hey, you're going to be in Springfield. We want to come and join you. So I was like, okay, we're going to be here. We're going to be there. Come and join us. And
Awesome.
and you've met a lot of Vietnam vets along this route.
The most impactful Vietnam vet, and Kev was there, or as he's known, ITEV. We had these hero pins that my buddy Larry Danner made, another Larry. He's a Vietnam vet, and he tells me to hand them out to people that I see fit. Well, it's usually the Vietnam vets, so I passed a few out to the team, and they handed them out, and I had one left, and we were at Mount Rushmore, and we handed it to him, and he started crying, and he just, we said, welcome home, you're our brother, we love you, and he just choked up, got really, and that's what this whole, goosebumps, but if I can carry anything out of this whole expedition, it's that right there. What that moment meant to him is something that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
That's awesome. Yeah, that moment, that Vietnam vet who joined with on that walk, Pete, him as well. Just you can see, like, and hear in the voice what it really means to them, what we're doing means to them, because their generation there was nothing, was there?
Yeah.
I think that, well, from my perspective in the background of things, seeing you guys with the Vietnam vets, with any other veteran, that military bond that you guys have is pretty amazing.
And what about the veterans home that we went into?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was pretty
The
awesome.
Missouri Veterans Care
And I
Home.
got conned by that old man.
Yeah.
Beat him.
There's some good pictures online of that as well.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What did he do?
He conned me into feeding him. He said he couldn't eat, he'd feed himself, so he asked me if I would feed him the ice cream I just got for him. And I fell for it, and I fed him for about 15 minutes until one of the staff told me, "Harold, you can eat on your own. What is she doing?"
That was awesome.
I had to get my picture with him after that. Kudos to him.
What did y'all think about the Veterans Home? That's a state veterans nursing home, so the state funds it, takes care
I
of
don't
it.
think there's anything like that in the UK, is there? I think there's just bog standards.
The only thing we have
Shelter.
anything near it is
Chelsea Pensioners.
Chelsea pensioners, that is it, yeah.
We got to meet an Iwo Jima Marine in that place, and that's where you find the little hidden gems. Are the nursing homes across this country? It's the veteran nursing homes that's ran by the state. That and the VA hospital has what's called the CLC, or the Community Living Center, and it's kind of the same thing. You'll meet. I met an atomic veteran. Never heard of an atomic veteran in my life. And there was 2,000 of them. They used to go out, test the bomb. They'd lay in a trench, and after it went off, it'd settle, and they'd go in and test it. But those are the kind of people. The Iwo Jima Marine that we got to meet the other day, that's one of the most deadly battles other than Peleliu in the island hopping campaign. And we got to shake his hand and hug his neck and let him know what he means to us. And that's, I think, something we're going to be focusing on in the future, I think.
Oh, definitely. Like, they've laid, for me personally, they've laid a legacy that I want to carry on. And now, obviously, this has given me a purpose. I've found a new purpose in life, and that's to continue what we're doing now.
Yep.
I think you guys started, I remember Johnny, particularly when this whole thing launched, when the Walk of America launched, and you said, if you can come back from the US having changed one person's mind, having encouraged one person to go and seek support that they need, or just to go and speak to someone, to hold their hand up and say, actually, I'm not in a good place, I need to go and get help, then you would have achieved what you've wanted to achieve out here. And I think you have done that over again.
Definitely.
Out here.
I think that's everyone's goal. It wasn't
Yeah.
just mine.
No, but I remember you saying it, and I know that all of you guys
We know
believe
we've
that.
achieved it just from speaking to
Yeah.
people and them turning around and saying,
I've had
That's
messages sent to
incredible.
me phone and everything over Facebook
Yeah.
and things. People saying, like, thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah. The
I'm
support
ringing
has
this
been
number,
incredible.
and they've rang
Yeah.
the office as well.
I think a shout out goes to Baz as well. Baz Hall.
Yeah.
Baz
What a stud.
completed 16 3.5 mile tabs walks with 44 pounds on his back.
Yes,
And he was inspired by you guys and by John and John's mental health journey and John's ability to put his hand up and say I need help, and your ability to do the same and your ability to do this walk. So yeah, shout out to Baz, he's done amazingly.
John.
Congratulations,
John.
Baz and John.
Yeah.
We love y'all
John, we
both.
miss you.
And what Baz did, actually, the fundraising that he did, put 3 ex-servicemen or women through our mental health program back in the UK.
The money
Awesome.
raised
called
is-
Head Start.
Nice.
That's
So
great.
that's, I mean, when you put the money into terms of people being supported, that's really amazing. So thank you, Baz.
Thank you,
And
dude. You're a legend.
Thank you to everyone else as well, on behalf of the team, on behalf of Walking with the Wounded. Thank you to everyone else who is doing things out there in their communities to raise funds for Walking with the Wounded, so we can continue what we're doing, and for other non-profits as well, because we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't need your support. So thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
The Bidens joined us. Dr. Jill Biden, our US patron, joined us in St. Louis on the 25th with her special guest. I think he was the former Vice President of the United States of America, Joe Biden.
Is that it?
Yeah, just a little part-time job.
Yeah.
How did you find that? How was it meeting your
It was.
expedition patron face to face? Because you'd only ever spoken to her on the telephone, on your birthdays and things like that.
It was weird. I was excited about it, and the fact that she wears a heart on her sleeve when it comes to veterans. They're a military family themselves, aren't they?
Absolutely.
And
Most definitely.
so they know the reasons. I think they've got first-hand experience as well, you know what I mean? Some of the reasons why we're doing this. So I think that's why it means much to
Kim's,
them.
tell them the highlight, how that all went down, how you were like, oh, I'd love to do that.
So, where were we?
St. Louis.
St. Louis. They've got a massive metal arch thing.
Gateway Arch.
Gateway Arch. And Joe Biden was saying that he was taking the grandkids up there to go check it out. I was like, oh yeah, I'd love to go up there. So, well, yeah, why didn't you come along? So, yeah, we gate crashed his family out, and he took us all up there.
Walking from America team gate crashing the Vice President's
amazing.
family trip.
We've had a couple of aerial views of cities though, haven't we?
Yes.
'Cause the Gateway Arch, we were looking over St. Louis.
630 feet.
Is that how tall it was?
Yeah.
And in Chicago as well, we had an event hosted by the British Consulate in
yeah.
Chicago, and we had an amazing view down in Chicago
that
as
was
well.
cool.
Floor
Like you were-
61 or 63 or something, wasn't it? It was-
Like you were looking down, about to fall over the city.
yeah.
You've had we had the Virgin Atlantic and the Delta team join you. That was an
that was
enormous
awesome.
walk.
That they brought a coach load of people. We'll go with the cars, and yet again it was like a brewery type place, wasn't it? Where we met them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
red
Go
hair.
with the cars, and there was like
Veterinary Brewery.
just loads and loads of people all just stood there like, wait.
And who else? You had a big group joining you today. Goodness me, where we started today in Jacksonville. We are still here in Jacksonville.
Adele's friend came, drove how many miles?
4 hours to come and see me, and I haven't seen her in 15 years. So that was pretty awesome that she could join us on the Go Rough Walk. And
I don't know how many there were of you this morning, but like
There's a ton of
Larry,
us.
you were saying you were taking that panorama, and you just kept getting people because so many people were walking you
It was
this morning.
one of the longest lines
Yeah.
I've seen us walk with, other than Virgin and Delta.
Yeah.
But I would say it was probably longer,
yeah.
just because it was so spread out on the beach.
it was made up of Wounded Warrior Project people. It was made up of just locals. Red, White, and Blue was out there with us.
Lots of
Yeah,
veterans.
there was a
wasn't
lot
there?
of people
A
out
lot
there
of
with
veterans
us.
as well.
And to see it, you guys were you couldn't miss you walking across the beach.
Yeah.
How did it feel getting onto the sands of the beach, the coast again, from coast to coast? You have
Weird.
officially done it, coast to coast.
Completely weird. It's exciting and humbling, knowing that we've nearly done the job that we've come out to do. Obviously, I know the awareness is getting out there as well, but we're getting closer and closer. We've only got 6 weeks left of the actual
4.
thing.
4.
Look at me trying to add extra miles on.
The team are heading off onto a very well-deserved rest week next week. Johnny and Larry, you're staying in the US. You are heading to Freddie the Cowboy's ranch in Wyoming, I
We're
believe.
gonna go pay our stay, Johnny. Isn't that right?
We're going to go pay back Freddie for what he did a couple of weeks ago when we hit Wyoming. He hosted us really well at the ranch. Sadly lost 2 of his workers. They quit while we were there, and he was worried that he was going to be down on getting the work done that he needed to before the end of the season. So we volunteered to go and help him out for the week.
Hats off to you guys.
Say thank you.
Yeah, and Kev, what are you up to on the week off?
I'm taking my kids. I've missed my kids so much. I'm taking them away for a couple of days. I'll stick a couple of walks in as well.
Because you haven't done enough.
Yeah.
Adele, what are you up to on the week off?
My 10-month-old puppy is going to get on a paddleboard with me, whether he's ready or not.
He's going to learn how to paddleboard.
He's going to
Probably
learn.
better than me.
Frankie, what are you up to?
Be with my wolf pack, my kids, my dogs, family, friends.
Frankie has 5 children.
And how many?
9 dogs.
9 dogs. Yeah, I used to have, when I came here, I got 4, but apparently Lobo was so busy with Pia, gave me 5 grand dogs.
I don't know if you heard
Grand
the word
dogs.
neuter. Just saying.
You're a busy man when you're back home.
I think, well, lead by example, right?
Right.
What are you up to, Kems? It's Kems' birthday on the 10th. Happy birthday, Kems.
Birthday, Kems. I bet you don't get a phone call off Dr.
Party
Bike.
boy.
If the sun's out, I'll be going down the beach.
Nice.
Doing the
And
same as you do
sunbathing.
now. Yeah.
Kems
I
cannot
might get
get
some
enough
work
of
in,
that
maybe.
beach in the sun.
Well, I hope you're all looking forward to it, but are you going to be looking forward to coming back?
Yes.
How are you feeling with only less than 300 miles to go to New York? I don't want to talk about the end yet, but what
Good
are your
and bad.
feelings?
Good and bad, like Johnny said before, and he's said a couple of times. It's good because we're getting the 8,000 miles across the states for a course that's so close to everyone's heart. But bad because it's ending soon, isn't it? And I personally don't want to do. I could do this forever.
Well, we were talking today, you're hopping another expedition.
Yes,
Keep
I'm
going.
hoping to do any expedition that becomes available.
What would you guys say to other veterans, other people wanting to do an expedition like this? Would you
Do it.
Do it.
Encourage it?
Do it. Just don't think about it. That's one of the things that it's a tough pill to swallow, to get away from normality and do something you know nothing about. Do it.
Yep.
You'll meet the best people in your entire life. You'll be around people that understand where you've been, where you are, and do it. Just do it.
It's certainly changed my whole outlook on life and given me a purpose.
It's given me opportunities, and that's what I came here for. I came here to, as much as to sort myself out and find myself. I come here to network and to open them doors to better my life rather than staying back in the UK where I'm obviously not happy. I'm not myself. So now I can come here where I feel totally different. And the good thing about America is it's that big that you can just keep exploring and it never gets boring. And that's what we've seen through walking through so many different states.
What about you?
Yeah, enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
No, and honestly, I think just as much as being able to help others, I was impressed with the forgetting the word I'm looking for, the help that is out there that I was totally unaware of. And so I think out of ignorance, when I got out, I was just, out. And I had no idea there were so many TBI centers. And so I'm looking forward to the opportunity to seek in the help I know I still need.
Yeah, that's
So.
nice.
Shall we wrap things up with your highs and lows? Start with your low, and then Frank.
My lowest point this week, I would say the weather, kind of humidity. That's
And the rain or just the humidity?
well, I love to walk under the rain though, rather than brutal sun that we had in Texas and Louisiana. But the humidity. It's bad. High points, walking with the wounded, joining Wounded Weather Project and Go Rock and Jaguars. I mean, the last 2 days have been unreal, just unreal.
We didn't talk about the Jaguars. Last night we were at Bank Field.
TIAA Stadium.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
This week was sponsored, and last week with thank you very much NFL, who have been on board with Walking with the Wounded for a while, since 2015 and our Walk of Britain, but they've been on board again this year, and we've had some actually great events over the last couple of weeks with the NFL teams. So what was it like with the Jaguars yesterday? They gave you a real show.
Yeah, they took us for a tour, fed us, gave us free stuff. got to meet the general manager, some of the players. They gave us a personalised signed ball. Showed us some backstage as well, which was quite cool. And explained to the guys that sort of the military side of things is massive for us. They're turning the one end into the grunt style engine. So over here they got a clothing brand. It's called grunt style, which is all like military vibe stuff. They're turning a whole end just to recognise the military and stuff like that.
It was amazing, like getting to sit in was it a running backs room?
Yeah.
Sitting in a running backs room with an NFL legend, and the Jags, like, is he like their mentor type?
Oh, Marcus Pollard.
Marcus Pollard.
All Pro Bowl tight end in the NFL, 14-year career.
And now deals with their health and wellness.
Sitting in a running backs room with him, and then being told that nobody's ever been in there before. So how honoured did we feel then?
And Kim's was sitting in Leonard Fournette's seat, the current running back, who's going to be probably a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. And Kim's just chilling out in his chair like you do, you know. Just like
using his cocoa.
I'll sit in your seat.
Yeah.
What was your low and high point, Kev?
Low point is now having to go home for the week. I don't want to do that. And high point obviously is the Jaguars.
Jaguars are good. Larry, low point, high point.
Low point, rain. Love the rain, but after a few days of it, it gets tiresome. High point, whole week, like I was saying earlier. The NFL has been so good to us. Wounded Warrior Project, like I can't remember. Kim's was saying the other day, every time they show up, we just get enormous amounts of love and support. So this week the whole week is my high point. I mean, now I'm saying Jaguars. Jaguars, Titans, Falcons, Kansas City Chiefs. Unbelievable work. Thank you, NFL. Thank you, Wounded Warrior Project, and thank you, Go Ruck.
Johnny, low point, high point.
I think for the first time since I've come to America, in the gap between the last podcast to this podcast, I've not actually had a low point.
Hey, that's really good. Yeah.
So I think my low point's gonna just be the fact that over the past few weeks we've seen the different organisations out here in America. We've heard so many stories. We've seen the support networks that are out here, and I'm kind of a little bit disheartened with the whole procedure and everything back in the UK and what's there for veterans. It's shocking, to be honest, but we can only keep trying. High point has to be Nashville. That place was absolutely just, I've never experienced anything like that. The Opry was phenomenal. An old lady came onto the stage and she was like, I was expecting country music to come out like Dolly Parton or something, and she starts belting out these jokes. She literally had tears running down my face. And then we went out for breakfast the next day, and at 10:30 in the morning we're walking down a strip and every single bar is open with live bands playing, and it was phenomenal.
Kev, low point, high point.
Low point, I would probably say, although, like Larry, although I love a bit of rain and stuff, you know, just to bring the temperatures down. But 3 continuous days and 2 bogging wet pairs of trainers now. Luckily, we're going on a rest week. Give them a chance to dry out. That was definitely my low point, the continuous amount of rain, even though I still enjoy doing what I'm doing. And high point is I'm going to see my kids.
Yeah.
That is my high point, even though I love everything I do. And I've had an amazing week. I've had an amazing time so far. I've missed my kids too much. I need to go and see them now.
Well, as of 7:20, hopefully AM on Monday, when you land.
Yep, straight on that train. Boom.
Adele, what are your low and high points going to be?
I think my low is, obviously I missed the last podcast because I had to go home for medical reasons. So that would definitely be my low point. High point is, I think in the last few weeks I've had a lot of good friends come out and see me that I haven't seen in years. And more importantly, seeing Sean in Kansas City, that was pretty epic.
That was powerful for us.
Yeah, I mean, he saved my life in 2006, and to be able to see him again was pretty freaking awesome. So that was definitely my high point.
What about Adele? Can you talk more about at the World War I Museum about seeing
Oh yeah, Jesse's stone.
Jesse's?
Yeah, Sean had told me when he found out we were going to the museum that Jesse DeVilla, who died in our vehicle, that there was a memorial place for him, that they had it made for him. And it was really awesome because I think the whole team was out there searching for him because we were given the wrong area to search. And everyone was searching. You could see the frustration on everyone's face that we weren't finding it. And, you know, go figure, you ask staff and they can tell you exactly where it's at. And so it meant a lot to me to see that he will always be remembered that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was a stone, wasn't it, in front of the Kansas City World War I Memorial, a museum and gallery. They had an incredible, like a mosaic almost, of tiles where they remembered those who lost their lives. So
And it was a big one.
It was a big one. It was a
Yeah, he had a big
stone.
one, and it told basically his whole career on that little stone, because he was a Marine, and then he was Army, and it was pretty freaking amazing to see that.
And
to know that he'll never be forgotten.
Shout out to Lynn as well, who made your
Oh,
flag.
We love you, Lynn.
Love
I
you,
know.
Lynn.
Lynn, who was
Send
an
you a message later.
incredible supporter of
She
Walking
took
with
the
Rangers.
time to make every flag personal to us.
Yeah.
I had the 2 for Dan and Jesse who lost their lives, and she researched it to figure out where they were from and everything else, and then Larry, yours was special to you.
Yeah, First Sergeant Ed Smith,
Yeah.
killed in action, Iraq, right next to me. Unbelievable, the fact that she would know that.
It was the fact that when we walked into the room that morning, there must have been at least 70 people in there. And me and Larry walked up to meet her, and before we could even introduce ourselves, she was like, wait, and she was like, Larry and Johnny.
Yeah.
And she knew our names, she knew our stories, and she's the first person that we've met where we haven't had to introduce ourselves because she already knew who we were and what we looked like.
Yeah.
And it was quite, you were taken back by it because she's obviously sat down and put a lot of effort into it. So
So
we
yeah,
obviously
thank you,
thank
Lynn.
for that.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you,
still
Lynn.
doing fundraising. Every day.
Every day.
She knows where we're going before we do.
Lynn
kidding.
has raised, I don't know if you know this, but Lynn has raised over $1,000 on her Facebook page.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Through Facebook.
Yeah.
I only raised 169 quid.
No, you better
Thanks,
get cracking.
guys.
No, well done, all of you. Enjoy your rest week, and we'll be back next time. We're heading over to Charleston in South Carolina and kicking things back off on our final few miles.
Final 300 and...
Kate,
280
Kate,
208 something
you've been
miles,
doing
yes.
this with us for ages. What's your high point and your low point?
Yes, all right. Good shout.
Ooh.
Kate.
Oh, I should come up with something better than peach cobbler in Houston, shouldn't I? That's all I
Not
can
walking
think
with
about.
the team and nothing
the
like
banana
that.
pudding. Yeah.
Low point's got to be working with your laptop all the time. Wherever.
That's our low
could be
point.
Oh my gosh.
Mountain and should be on a laptop. It could be
Yeah, it's just so
We
everyone
were at the
knows, we
game
were at the
last night.
NFL game last night. Everyone was sat there watching it, enjoying themselves, and for about 3.5 hours, Kate
wasn't
was
that
glued
long.
to her laptop.
And when I left
least it
last
didn't
night
rain.
down here, she was still on her laptop past 11.
And when we got here today, she was on her laptop.
Yeah.
Kate, you are a legend.
Yes.
You are. We cannot thank you and love you enough. But tell us your high point and low point.
So peach cobbler wasn't allowed then.
No,
No, neither's banana pudding.
it has
Oh,
to be.
wait.
It
It
has to be an
should
actual
be.
thing.
Has to be an actual thing.
I actually got quite emotional today when I was thinking about the ocean thing. The fact that you've come from west to east coast. That really got me about how much you guys are, how much you've done, what you've achieved. That's something tangible when you look at a map. I think that was amazing. I loved Yellowstone and Grand Teton, Peach Cobbler. Lots of high points.
So
And
how
actually I
did you get
loved
that
going
in?
up the Gateway Arch as well. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was really cool. So lots of high points. Low point for me was San Antonio because I missed my best girlfriend's wedding. That was my sad day. But San Antonio was also beautiful, so it made it slightly better. And that was a rest day as well, luckily.
Yeah.
But that was my low point, and
Which
I'm
I
pleased to be out here with
needed.
you. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you, and have an amazing week off. Have a safe week off, and we shall see you in South Carolina.